So, hello everyone. My name's Kishan Bhatt. We're part of the Kingsley Wood team, and we're also joined by our guest today, Helen. And today we're going to talk about self-employment and a self-employed role and how work-life balance and wellness. I think these are really important topics in business. And this is the Kingsley Wood Business Talk series. And so, Helen, have you probably may have come across these kind of challenges that some people have, maybe business owners might have had, or even employees and employers as well. Um, Tell us a bit more about any kind of advice that you can give to those that are self-employed that may be facing those kind of issues.
One of the biggest issues at the moment that I come across with nearly all of my clients, especially professionals, high professionals, is that because we hide behind a screen all day, there's a lot of loneliness. And a lot of us work from
Mm.
home, and there isn't that interaction anymore, which
Mm.
is why workspaces where you can
Yeah,
rent offices and work with other colleagues or other people and interact is becoming more popular
yeah,
because the loneliness is a big issue at the moment.
yeah,
So ways we can deal with working from home was your question.
yeah.
Um, is really to set your boundaries and communicate. You were speaking previously about
Mm.
clients phoning you on a Sunday. If you communicate your boundaries,
Mm.
communicate what your hours of work are, set the precedence before you take that client on, so they understand. Yes, I know that they may call you out of them hours, but you have communicated with them, and then you're setting your boundaries to allow you to have that work-life balance, to allow you to um, work when you want.
Mm.
Um, and it's about you showing up as your authentic self when you choose to have your professional life and when you choose to have your work life. So you can set times that you're going to have
Yeah,
family dinners, and that they're non-negotiables.
yeah,
You can set times that you're going to have your emails, and they're
yeah,
non-negotiables.
yeah,
You can set times that you're going to get off your phone, and they're non-negotiables. So it's communicating your boundaries, setting your boundaries. Um, we're talking about prioritizing your tasks as well, and that's a huge one.
yeah.
Because you can't do everything,
No.
and it's okay to say no because we all are human.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've implemented quite similar things in my lifestyle. Non-negotiables, and it's really helped and really worked. And it does create an impact in your lifestyle. But we're talking about lifestyle changes, and I know you kind of spoke about remote working, and I guess there's two sides of the coin here, right? Because on one hand, people want to work remotely because they want to have more time for their family and they want to have the freedom. On the other hand, working remotely is, like you said, it's a lonely place, and perhaps one of the reasons why a lot of businesses now are enforcing employees to come back to work. Um, so I guess the question is, how do employers? Maybe Judy can answer this, but how do employers can balance? How is this a balancing act for employers when they want people to come into work, but know that remote working can be quite lonely?
Yeah, I mean, I find that a lot of my clients don't want to go back to the office.
Right.
But I think it's really important to have that connection,
Mm-hmm.
especially for junior staff.
Yeah.
They need to learn, and it's difficult to learn when you're in a remote sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go up to somebody and ask them a question.
Yeah.
You can't overhear conversations on
Mm-hmm.
the phone. So I think I think the balance is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of employers who are not expecting staff to come back full time, but they want them once or twice a week in the office. And I think it's beneficial for the employer, and it's also beneficial for staff, particularly more junior staff. Um, I know a lot of employers during COVID shut
Mm-hmm.
down their offices, so
Yeah.
that's another issue. But
Yeah.
I think the bigger employers have kept the office space open, and they tend to do hybrid working
Mm-hmm.
and sort of where they share the office space, so people only come in a certain number of days a week.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think it's all about balance, right? And do you all foresee that because of the way that the gig economy is shaping up, do you foresee that there's going to be a lot more self-employed people out there in sort of the professional services industry, or do you feel that it's going to carry on as normal as it is now?
I think that the self-employed model is growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it around me, and I see it within law and other practices. So yeah, I do think
Yeah.
it's something that's going to grow.
Yeah. And what?
I think consultancy is growing with Taylor Rose, our
Yeah.
sister firm.
Yeah.
AIIC,
Yeah.
subsidiaries too, including us. It may well do so. I think the option, the ability to work remotely is really an internet phenomenon, really.
Yeah.
COVID then galvanized this movement, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's here to stay, and it may well grow.
Yeah, and I know some of you have touched on sort of the fact that you're not in the office space, so you might not be able to go to anyone, but there's also technology out there, and we've utilized technology to our advantage. Where, for example, we've got Slack for internal communication, and you can even do video chat on Slack. So it's like going across and seeing someone in the office, really, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And obviously we've implemented other kind of features which make it easier for communication internally. So let's talk about the role of technology and the role of AI now. So how do you foresee AI changing the self-employed landscape and making it easier for people to work remotely and to help service their clients a bit more efficiently?
I think it definitely helps with efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you need to double check, and you need to be mindful of what you input into the AI system, but I do think it does help with efficiency. You can just ask a question and it will create something for you. So yeah, I definitely think it's the future.
Yeah,
it is going to be the future. We have no sort of like control over that, but mm-hmm. I do think that it's going to help with us, and therefore we perhaps could have more clients because we're dealing with them more efficiently. So yeah.
And perhaps those efficiencies, do you think that could drive and help you kind of create that work-life balance a bit better? Because you want to spend more time with that, with your own lives, but also make sure that work gets done efficiently and quickly. And do you think that AI can help with that process?
Yeah, I'm still in the phase of finding that it's inconsistent, but I'm sometimes very, very impressed. Sometimes there are gaps and bits missing, and I think at the moment the clients will still feel more comfortable having a lawyer speak to them. So this is a checking mechanism, but of course talk of AI judges and so on. It seems that the AI can do predictions that no human could do, and it will be interesting once it gets to that position. Will there be a future for lawyers? It may be almost voluntary to be a lawyer if it does become that precise.
I guess that human touch is still important, especially in the professional services industry. Helen, you wouldn't expect to go to a robot to give you legal answers, right? That would be quite a scary thought.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some legal answers, but there's nothing like talking to a human.
Yeah.
And for me, the way I use AI is as a thinking partner.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling me how to coach, but as a thinking partner, someone to bounce off of, something to bounce off of. So that's how I personally use AI.
Sure. I guess on the flip side, we've seen in the news recently that AI has also led to mental health issues and also wellness issues because people are perhaps too reliant on AI, overly reliant. And how do you see that impacting business owners, business people? Do you think they'll have a similar challenges as other people have had?
AI is growing really fast.
Yeah.
And like you say, we've got no control over it. So which way it's going to go, we have yet to see. I mean, you can predict the future. However, going to someone personally, I think people will still want that. There's a lot of pressure on businesses to keep that healthy balance, if you like.
Yeah.
I think AI is useful for polishing up what you already know.
Yeah.
Rather than relying on it as for answers. So, just to polish your communications.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Absolutely. I know that things will evolve and maybe robot judges one day, but I think we're far from that at the moment. Well, thank you everyone for attending today. I hope that was a really valuable discussion and quite thought-provoking, and hope our viewers out there have also enjoyed that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.